Bernard.
What up?
And we may have another guest here in a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and get started. We have one guest who is leaving shortly in a little bit, so we're going to jump into a quick frenzy round and see what we can get out of that.
Jamboree TV!
Whichever one. That's second player. Hand him that one.
Doesn't matter.
And so player 3, which is you. There you go.
Okay.
Really? You put Rock Lee?
That's the homie.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rock Lee. Believe it! Alright, we're gonna skip all that. Oh no! There we go. Jamie is not here. Not feeling well today, but hopefully she gets better soon. She's got a title to defend. I'm sure somebody somewhere is like, oh, she faked being sick, so she doesn't have to defend it. That person is not me. But,
You just said what?
it was, yeah, I said what Anthony was thinking. Who's also not here. So we'll do Mario Party. We'll do something quick like
Good luck, everyone!
either the, I don't know what you want to pick, like the Mario Castle,
Mario Party!
as far as the board goes.
Let's see. I don't mind the castle.
Alright. Oh, you want to go there?
Let's try. That's the one with the water.
Yeah.
Gotta plan things out.
Really? I thought you played all the boards so
I
far.
thought I did too.
We're here to find out which of you has what it takes to be the superstar. Is this anyone's first time playing the board? I guess so.
You don't have to.
No, too late. A volcano that looks just like a Goomba.
What happens if the water comes in? You drown?
You drown and go back to the beginning.
Oh.
Or if the water comes up and you're on an island, you get stuck there until low tide.
Oh,
Water.
yeah.
I feel like you played it.
Maybe I did. I was just going in once, though.
Y'all don't need to know how you know how home stretch works. Now, we've never played this on Frenzy mode. Oh!
Nice.
50 coins, okay. We're in the Frenzy mode. Not friendly mode, Frenzy
Oh,
mode.
we get double dice too.
Oh!
Oh.
So we're all starting out in first. Nice. Not that we don't when we don't have stars. Oh no! Added more Bowser spaces.
Ah, no.
Well, Bowser, you jump on all the Bowser stations. They put the star pretty far to be friendly. Where's it running? Oh, there's running one.
Oh, just 20 coins. I think they set Bowser as normal. We didn't change his difficulty.
Well, if Bowser wins, whoever comes in second wins.
I mean, you're 10 away from the star, so might as well try to use the double dice. Okay. Nice.
Dang.
Patience is a virtue.
What do you have?
They have golden pipes here too?
How much money? Okay, yeah.
Wow. I mean, with 5 turns, that's the right move. You were supposed to pick no thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Boing!
You got a star.
Okay. Rock Lee with the star.
Oh, I just need to go left. Then again, how many...
Yeah, that's a wise decision.
Let me go the other way to avoid the ghost.
No, don't you want the ghost?
You want the
I
ghost.
want the ghost.
Because that'll allow you to steal. You don't have enough coins to steal a star, but you can steal coins from somebody,
Okay.
and possibly your next turn use your golden pipe. Now you're going to screw people over who are on the
But
island, but nobody's moved yet, so...
coins.
Yeah, you can steal coins. Come on, the obvious choice was the computer.
I
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, always the company.
Unless one of us stole from you, you should be picking Bowser.
Fortunate.
13, almost enough to buy another star.
Dang it.
Well, he only hurt himself there.
Landing over there.
Landing over there keeps you from getting to the other star. And this is Kari. Yo. Yeah, we're here. We're playing. Okay, we'll see you there. Alright.
Mario time.
Alright, so since I can't get to the star, I still want to try to get to a golden pipe. I think that was the right move. And that resets the water back. Oh no, this is the fishing game. If you don't mind, getting the door real quick so Kari when he comes in.
You're already over.
Yeah, he's about to pull up. You can just leave it open. I didn't want to be greedy. Sometimes you keep fishing and then you catch something bad and then you end up only money or something. I was like, 11 coins? I'll take that.
I think I made that mistake before. You hold down the button, the A.
Uh-oh.
Mini game.
Well, you never said ever. Oh, it's the bowling.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least you practiced first this time. Last video, if y'all didn't see that, you gotta check that one out where they did it without practicing and hilarity ensued. I think that video is live
Start.
or is available on the YouTube channel today. Oh. Maybe they'll bounce back in.
Yeah.
Oh, you still beat him.
Damn, I should have been going. I thought that was going to be the game.
No, that's not how it works. You bet everything, it's something crazy.
I know.
You bet one coin and it's something like that. Well, you have enough to still buy a golden pipe and leave out of there. Oh, I'm giving you an opportunity for more stuff. Nice. Oh, I thought you were at the store. I'm too tired to do stairs. Everybody pick the Crash Bandicoot level. Is that what happened?
Wait a minute. What am I supposed to hit to go?
You hold this,
Okay, that's what I thought.
but then you also have to jump over the rocks.
Yeah. No, why do I get to go?
You get mushed immediately. Yeah, so you want to hold it down since we're going down. See how my hand is holding it down? You want to be doing that and then pressing A to jump over the rocks.
Alright, guys, so that I can try again.
Looks like we're waiting on Shy Guy.
Oh, really?
Wait on me too, so.
I did my part.
No! Fuck!
Looks like we're waiting on Yoshi.
It's A, right?
It's a jump.
Yeah.
It's plus to start.
I know that. I was just trying to figure out though. Why
I'll mess up. I imagine I'm gonna mess up. Ah! Okay, close. Oh, wow!
I've never seen that before. And by never, it's probably been like a year since I've seen somebody do that. Just jump off the stage. Yeah, just come in. Alright, y'all, Kari is here. Oh, we actually won that.
That was awkward for me because
That practice.
Sup, man?
Sup, man? Nice shirt.
Thank you. I like yours too.
Nice. Hey, what's going on?
Once again,
Only
Again?
4 turns left.
The homie is, so yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I do have one. Oh, wow.
yeah, you got enough coins from this game that we just mini game.
I think I'll be underwater. It's not right.
No, it's above water. Three. Okay. Is that putting him on a red space? I think it's putting him on a red space. Meow, meow.
You got a star.
Okay.
Oh, this a warm up?
We're playing this frenzy mode. He's going to see Odyssey.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And a little bit, so we were just doing that to play and wait on you, and we could play a different game.
Ah, dang.
Oh, hit and block.
Oh, snap! Look at your boy.
Better not be a star. Well, they gave you pretty much your coins back that you lost.
Wait, how did he get that thing?
I don't remember him getting it.
I don't either.
I'm sure he's buying a golden pipe. He didn't even turn around to face it to show it.
Like he expects you.
Oh, great.
Mini game.
This. He basically said, I'm just going to bet everything. Well, you know, I don't know, I guess 18 coins if he wins is better than 0 to use his golden pipe.
Three, two, one, go!
Dang.
I've been better with Bowser my whole life. This is how it's been. I mean, drink to that.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I said.
I thought he was just gonna like jump off the side or something.
I mean, you gotta think, if Mario wasn't better than Bowser, would he invite him to his parties?
That's true.
Oh, busted.
Oh.
Yeah, security.
See, he could have lucked out if he would have beat me and went fishing and got coins. 13 away. Part of me is like, don't use the golden pipe. But Bernard already has 3 stars, so I need to go ahead and use it. Because Bowser is going to use it if I don't use it.
Why would Bowser use it if he doesn't have enough coins to buy it?
I mean, that's true, but I mean, like, his next turn is what I meant.
You got a star.
Because I think it's back over there where Bernard is.
Is it?
Oh, no. I think I need to go back this way and buy another golden pipe. See, if the water wasn't there, you could put it on a 9 and get there, but because the water's there, you can't get it. Got a 9 anyway.
golden pipe, you think folks run the water sports.
No dig.
Dual minigame.
That's what he said.
Well, he can't even do. Bowser can't even duel, so you're good. He has no money.
Oh, good.
Ooh! I knew it once I saw all those coins. I was like, oh, this gonna fall over.
Minigame.
Well, let's look at it this way. You didn't lose any of your money. You didn't have to duel Bowser, and you didn't. Sorry, Bernard. Let's see if on.
Why?
I want to see if on Twitch
Look, I know I'm an easy target, but...
I'm actually showing up.
Huh?
No, yeah. So last week on Twitch, the bit rate was so high, people were saying black screen and was saying black screen, but now the lowered bit rate is showing us live on here.
Oh, sorry.
Start.
Oh, he got him. Is Bowser the MVP here?
No.
Oh!
You almost got away.
Yeah.
Because I was running into you, so I couldn't get around, and he cut me off.
This thing. Okay.
Only 3 turns left.
Oh, well, it's low tide again. Of course.
Jamboree.
Which is weird because Luigi says that in Mario Kart. Miho! Oh! It's like, why is he saying that? Or maybe he's not saying that, but that's what it sounds like he's saying. Alright, for time purposes, it's 9:53. So if you're good, we're going to do these last 2 turns. Dang, he's 40 away.
Oh, wow.
Ew.
And he landed on the Bowser Square.
No.
Or Bowser Circle.
Take my star.
It's possible.
Let's get it over with.
All players lose 10 coins? Dang, Bernard.
I mean,
I needed more for
Dang.
my star.
Collateral damage.
Well, Bowser loses nothing.
Here you go.
Oh, Vicky still has enough for a star. Her next turn.
Cleaned up the pipe.
exactly what she said. Lost all my coins, but still got fired.
Okay. So this
What's
could
this
help.
minigame?
Oh gosh. We each don't have 10 coins.
I got like 11.
Mhm.
One coin.
No! Oh my gosh, we haven't played this in so long, and I was happy to not play it. This is one of those RNG games.
I just don't select the same one as everybody else.
Yeah, but the computer always selects what you select.
I always do the third one.
Well, I suggest you pick a
Looks like
different
we're
one.
waiting on Shy Guy.
Dang! They called you all the way out. Leave it to a Japanese developer to call you out hard.
Awesome.
Guys, I'm just picking the fourth one. Don't pick that one. You're fired.
That didn't help me at all. Mm. I'm pretty sure everybody picked what I picked. Oh, Yoshi won. And got all of our coins.
I needed my 10 back. I can't get a star otherwise.
Just 5 and 20. I basically got the 6 coins I gave up back. Pathetic. Oh, I needed to use my pipe there. If I could have got more coins, that would have been nice.
It's 10 p.m.
Huh. Okay.
Got a star.
Yes.
I'll get over there. She said I'd rather go around in a circle.
Bonus minigame.
Oh, for coins. Okay.
Everybody gets coins.
So it's Bernard versus everybody.
But the game. Oh, that's because you're in first place.
I like how he picked against himself. But because y'all picked that game instead of cage catch, we're doing this now.
I don't want you to catch something like that.
Yeah, but we're catching him.
You have to catch him. I'm not good at the game.
She said absolutely not.
Looks like we're waiting on Shy Guy.
Steady keep calling you out. Man. That's beat up.
Start. Round one.
Somebody, probably his controller fell asleep.
Oh shit, I'm sorry about that. This is still cool.
Look on the inside, or are either of the lights going on?
This one's off. So, what, this one has to be attached to me?
Maybe just tap on both of them real quick, because at least that left one should be solid.
It's... Actually, it's going to
I heard something. There we go.
Hey, let's go.
Oh,
Round two.
we gotta get him twice. Oh, we got him twice.
Final round.
Yes, I got him.
Me too.
Finish.
That was for double coins too? Okay. So that should give me enough to get a star.
Only 2 turns left.
Alright, we're at the penultimate turn. Oh, but you can't buy anything.
Dang it.
Save up and come back.
Save up and go back.
Hey, you get Bowser Jr. though.
Showdown minigame.
He just wanted to extend the game.
Yeah.
Junior's Gauntlet.
Looks like we're waiting on Shy Guy.
They gotta quit it with that. I'm like, dang.
Start.
Oh, come on.
Jeez.
That cost the whole game, probably.
Yeah,
Let me see if we can just get you another.
Another controller or something.
Yeah, because I feel like that's going to continue.
Dang, defeated by the hardware.
And just. Oh, well, you're back in now. All right, let's do it. Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So go
That
ahead
does
and
it.
go ahead and switch
Okay.
the right one. Here, let me do it. Let me do it because
No,
it's,
it's. Oh,
this is a
okay.
3D printed one,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit tougher. I'm just gonna push like that.
Hey, Leonard, can I
Yeah.
have one of these cookies?
Sure. I don't know how old they are though. Keep that in mind. Actually, it doesn't like this one, so that's a problem. What we're gonna do is just give you a traditional one. It looks like it prefers. Oh, this is the Switch 2 one.
Wait, are you guys not playing on the Switch too?
Joy-Con grip.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's connected.
Yeah, but it connected that one.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Well, it's probably gonna die right back. But maybe we can get through the rest of this. Oh! I got caught because I hit the button right there. Oh, we all got caught there. Okay. That was just like in the practice one.
I'm not getting moved.
It's not moving.
It's not moving?
It's not.
Oh, look at that Pro controller got connected
Where?
It's just
on the controller screen.
As a fourth? That shouldn't happen.
No,
No, as a
as a
third.
third. As his, it got a. It looks like it. The thing looks like one of those. On the. You go back to the.
Yeah, I think I'll head out after this one. It's like 10:13.
I'm not sure what to do.
Where's the theater you're going to?
AMC.
Oh, it's the one up the street?
I think
It just set out.
you might be taking an L on this one because it's lit up.
Okay.
It's lit up. Let's just finish this up because this is the last turn.
Okay.
Maybe it'll let you play after. Dang.
How did you survive?
He won by just standing there.
Don't come around me. Please don't.
Come here. Oh my god!
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, you were supposed to grab it. I was pressing the wrong button.
Wait, what's supposed to catch the chickens?
Yes.
Can't move. How are you gonna punch me when I can't move?
He's so good at these things,
Well, I'm out.
But I survived the longest. Don't I get
Bowser
points for
gets
that?
him?
Bowser
his
gets
son?
a son, yeah.
He gets custody? Oh, okay.
Dang.
I needed him because it's my turn next. I probably could have only afforded one star with him.
That's it. He's about to be in anyways.
I'll try and win it for you, man. You gotta tell us how the Odyssey is, though.
I got a lot of stuff to do. Let's start over there.
Don't worry.
Fun.
All right, man. It's good.
My hands are dirty.
Good night.
See you on the next one.
All right, man.
You got a star.
Oh, he didn't have enough money to that. It's like,
No, he didn't have enough. How unfortunate. But he's gonna get enough money here. If he lands on that twice. He put the trap down and he gets to probably get a golden pipe out of that. I saw a golden or a triple dice. Nothing golden out of it. And a shot, But the last turn, nothing's open. So you might as well get rid of that. He's not going to, because you don't need to move it twice. Oh.
Mario time!
All right. Still in second place.
You got a star.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Bernard's not here, so he'll be alright. Taking his place is Kari, though.
Oh, that's what you
The,
So you can switch to that one right there.
Okay.
this one?
Yeah.
Is it on?
It will be if you... So what we can do is, real quick, go to the controller.
Because there are 4 connected.
That's weird. Let's change grip order. I'll go first. And I don't remember who was second. Was it him or you?
It was
You. You're second.
me, yeah.
Did you switch to the other Joy-Con?
Nope.
He said no?
I got it to work.
Okay, but it's dying. It's been dying every turn for him. That's why we wanted you to switch to the new one.
It'll be fine.
Okay. No, I don't want a game chat. I'm so used to hitting the PlayStation button for that. Alright. Hey, I'll take all of your coins. I don't think it was working.
No. I was like, did I press the button?
Nine away. Oh, there you go. Are you sure you were player 3 and not player 2?
Oh.
Because look at
player
the...
2, because I'm able to move now, so we gotta switch the order again.
Oh, keep hitting the game chat button. It just wants me to use game chat for some reason.
It feels like you're not talking to enough people on the stream.
Perhaps.
Oh shit. Oh, I'm dying.
Dang.
Oh, you're the only one that's
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
the only one that's going.
Yeah, well, that's fun, so. It is what it is. Oh,
So she got the coins you stole from me. Or
Yeah.
Bernard, yeah.
well, that'll put her in first place. Oh, yeah, that'll put her in first. Getting all those coins on the way to the star. The only thing that would have been better is if she had took Bowser Jr. on her way over there.
Yeah. Good that she did 9 and not 10.
Yeah. Would have been dope is if she had more than that and made it to like the store before it closes.
Yeah.
I was hoping that I forgot that I didn't have enough to steal a star, and then I was going to get a star. So I forgot. I didn't have enough points to do that.
She's right there by the store. But maybe the last turn, you're able to go that way. No, it's a 37 away, so you can't go that way. You have to go all the way around.
Mini game.
We have not done Thwomp the Difference in a while.
Spoke it right into existence, didn't you?
I didn't pick it. I just observant that we have not done it in quite some time. She looked at me all evil.
I don't remember how to play it.
Basically picking the one that's different from the rest of them.
Oh, okay.
Looks like we're waiting on Shy Guy. Oh, Shy Guy actually picked.
Start. Round 1. Round 2. Round 3. Round 4.
I thought they were all going to be grapes with one with like a short stem or a longer stem, but it was not.
Final round.
Hang on, one by one.
Finish.
What was Bowser thinking?
Final turn.
Dang. Is anybody caught? Oh, okay. Okay. And he's gonna move it. Okay. To the ship! To the ship! To the ship! Not quite. Okay, that's pretty much useless. Now he has money.
Mario time!
Ah, well. It all comes down to this, kids. Can I get on the clover?
I like how he pushes you.
Sure did.
He said, no, you're
It'll
not.
cost me 4 coins. Ugh. I just wanted to land on the clover. Particularly this one. And not that other one. Oh, I didn't get anything from that? Tragedy.
Oh god.
See, it lets you land there. I rolled a 2. It should have let me go on the exclamation point and land on the other one for something.
Final
It
minigame.
screwed me there.
They made this one come down to the wire, didn't they?
Oh, my wrist hurts just thinking about this.
Ah!
I was using the pressure washer earlier.
Hey, right?
Yep. A for dear life.
Start.
If I look exhausted, it's because I am. Let's go.
Nice.
That's 2 fingers, not a middle finger. And see, that win didn't give me coins either, so
Right. What was the point?
unless there's a mini game bonus, didn't need that. Oh, I gotta MGT it. Alright, let's see who got through this. We did a quick frenzy one here. It was Bernard / Kari as Shy Guy, Vicky as Yoshi, and you already know who I was. Vicky had the most coins between the 3 humans. We all had the same amount of stars. Bowser trailing behind. But again, this was for a frenzy mode, not for any belts or anything like that. So Jamie, you're safe this week. Shopping bonus. Wasn't that everybody? Oh! I'll take it. Takes the lead. Oh, there's no
that's it.
second one?
Oh, that's it.
That's it? Frenzy mode is just 1 star?
Oh,
Well,
They just gave it to Mario.
Congratulations.
yeah, number 1, baby. Number 1. Like, comment, subscribe, share. All that stuff. Hey, but that's how these games go. Some of them you're like, hey, I earned it, and others it's like they're just gonna give it to. Because before you got here, it felt like they were picking Bernard for all of it. Like they started out, he had a 10. He went straight to the star, and then they moved the star right where he was the next turn. And
Right.
he just ran out of money, or he would have had probably 5 stars. I forgot he got the hidden block as well. He's the one who actually got to Bowser Jr. But just didn't win the last game because of controller betrayal.
Betrayal.
Pretty much. Alright, we will see y'all with something else.
You look like you're ready to get to it. Cause you whipped that out. Wait!
Look, I have 2 projects I have to have done.
How's everyone in the studio?
Doing pretty good. Yeah.
What's next?
So what you trying to do next? Same thing or different game?
See about this rock band.
It's about this rock band. Well, to do the rock band, we will end the stream, and we will see y'all next time.